Okay, guys, it's me, Yolanda. Hope you guys are doing well out there. So, the last time we talked, I was sharing with you how I'd been reading the book of Joshua, and I kind of got stuck in chapter 1. And then I got over to, chapter 1 basically being how the Lord had commissioned Joshua about taking the people over the river of Jordan to possess the promised land. And so I was really just blessed at how the Lord had so much confidence in Joshua, and how he spoke with him, and how he befriended him, if you will. So then I went over to chapter 2 and started talking about Rahab. And I closed out sharing how that Rahab was Ruth's mother-in-law. So we'll just kind of pick it up right there. But before I get all the way over into the book of Ruth, I found out the other day, and I'm going to say it because it was from a reputable source. But I have to do the full research myself. But, so Rahab, after the children of Israel inhabited Jericho, Rahab kind of ended up in Bethlehem. And so as the story goes, Rahab was walking around in Bethlehem one day and ended up meeting, what was his name? Salmon. It's Salmon. It's not Solomon. It's Salmon. And Salmon happened to be like the father of Bethlehem. So he basically built the city. So dude is the man, okay? So Rahab has left Jericho, has been delivered from Jericho. And dig this now. Someone may mention that, in the Bible, the name Rahab, the harlot, follows her throughout the Bible. But I would just like to point to it and say, girl was once a harlot. She was made her living selling herself or giving of herself, to men, probably rich, poor, I don't know. But then, baby girl, after she believes and she exercises faith in the God of Israel, she's delivered. Not only is she delivered from Jericho, not only is she delivered from the death and the destruction that the Lord had promised to come on Jericho, but she was delivered from that line of work as well. She was delivered from prostitution. Bless her heart. And baby girl became the wife of the man who built the city of Bethlehem. Talk about the come up. What? So yeah, that's Rahab. So Rahab and Salmon get together and they have Boaz. So in comes the story of Ruth. So I was reading the book of Ruth, and again, it's been my practice lately. I've been kind of walking and just taking some time, especially with COVID going on, just walking, and I've been listening to the word. And so the other day, I was listening to Ruth, and the first thing that stood out to me in the book of Ruth is when, let me get to it. Okay, right here in my face. Okay, so we're in chapter 1, Ruth chapter 1, And we're at verse 16. So basically what happens up to this point, Naomi and her husband Elimelech leaves Moab. No, not leaves Moab. They leave where they were from. I think they were from Bethlehem, and they came to Moab for when the famine was happening. So the husband ended up dying, and they had 2 sons together, Naomi and Elimelech, and they had 2 sons, and the sons were both married. Well, the husband died, and then the sons, both sons died. And if you're familiar with the custom of those days, the sons, when the father passed away, the sons inherited the responsibility of the mother. Excuse me. And then when both of them were dead, she only had her daughters-in-law. So at this point, she's getting ready. Nothing's left, no reason to stay. She's getting ready to go back home. I want to say to Bethlehem. Let me make sure. So, at any rate, so when she's getting ready to go back home, she's telling the daughters-in-law, "Hey, look, you guys go back to your land and be with your people, because I'm going to go home now." And Ruth tells her, "Entreat me not to leave you." Again, it's verse 16, chapter 1, verse 16. "Entreat me not to leave you, or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. And where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts you and me." Girl, what? Oh my God. The passion and the love that she had for this woman, and the respect and honor and even loyalty that she had for this woman. And you can only imagine that Naomi's character must have been that, or such that it reflected the character of God, if Ruth was able to receive that and to feel that way, So it was almost like a witness, and that's her exercising faith. So now remember, Ruth was a Moabitess, which was the enemy, basically, of the Israelites. However, they ended up marrying because of the land they were in. Okay, so that was the first thing. So they go ahead, they get to where they're going, they get back to the land, and Ruth is going to take care of her mother-in-law. So she decides, in I think it was chapter 2, that she was going to go and work at the fields. Well, as luck would have it, here we go. Okay, chapter 2, I'm going to read that for you. Okay, so there was a relative of Naomi's husband, a man of great wealth of the family of Elimelech. His name was Boaz. So Ruth the Moabitess said to Naomi, "Please, let me go to the field and glean heads of grain after him in whose sight I may find favor." And she said to her, "Go, my daughter." And then she left and went and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And she said, and she happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. Now, it goes on. For the sake of time, I don't want to go on. But finishing out through the chapter, she finds favor with Boaz, right? And Boaz tells her, I'm so silly. When he told her, not only come over and glean and have lunch, but girl, go ahead and just sop your morsel in the vinegar. That must have been real sexy back then. Sop your morsel in the vinegar over here by me. But anyway, I'm just being silly. So, favor. He's showing her favor. And then we get over to chapter 3. So now Ruth has gone through the harvest season with Boaz. He invited her to stay, and if you know the story, he kind of blessed her and made sure that she was blessed along the way, and had more than enough. So it's the end of harvest and everything, and chapter 3. So Naomi is going to advise Ruth to go. Here we go. Naomi, mother-in-law, said to her, "My daughter, shall I not seek security for you, that it may be well with you? Now Boaz, whose young women you were with, is he not our relative? In fact, he's winnowing barley tonight at the threshing floor. Therefore, wash yourself and anoint yourself. Go on and put on your best garments and go down to the threshing floor. But do not make yourself known until he's finished eating and drinking." Don't disturb the man while he's eating and drinking, okay? Give him that respect. Then, verse 4, "Then shall it be, when he lies down, that you shall notice the place where he lies, and then you shall go and cover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what you shall do." And so, she followed the directions, and it happened. But this is what, he said to her. Okay, this is what he said to her that just blew my mind. Chapter 3, and then I know time is running out, so I'm going to run through it. Chapter 3, verse 10 says, he said to her, "Blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter, for you have shown more kindness at the end than at the beginning, in that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, do not fear." Ooh, listen to what this man tell her. "I will do for you all that you require." In this Bible it says request. "For all the people of my town know" what? "That you are a virtuous woman." Everybody know you're a virtuous woman. Woo! "However, there is a relative who's closer than I am. Stay the night and tomorrow we'll get it straight." In essence, tomorrow we'll get it straight with him. So he goes on and he gets it straight with the relative, and he buys Ruth, and they become husband and wife. But I just thought, wow, what beauty and what blessing it was for Ruth to have found herself the faith that she had in the God of Israel, and that faith brought for her so much favor. And again, I'm rushing through this, so maybe we can have a time when we can kind of, I read a lot to you today, so maybe the next time we catch up, I can go into it and we can talk a little bit more about Ruth and her roots and how they applied, and kind of like what that meant in that time. So thanks, guys, for being with me. I appreciate you listening. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.